Hey, how you doing? Kobe Bryant is touted as one of the greatest NBA players in history, with countless accolades, stats, moments, and history pointing to this. But is he actually one of the greats? Or is he just an overrated Michael Jordan light? Let's get into this. Kobe Bean Bryant was born on August 23rd, 1978 in Philadelphia to Kamala Cox Bryant and former NBA player Joe Bryant, establishing this immediate influence of basketball on Kobe's life as he began playing at just age 3, and even in Philadelphia, the Lakers were his favorite team while growing up in the Showtime era. Apparently. However, at age 7, his family moved to Italy to follow Joe Bryant's career, where little Kobe began taking basketball seriously in Reggio Emilia by studying NBA tapes sent by his grandfather, practicing shots at halftime during his own father's games, which eventually got dubbed The Kobe Show, that's how impressive he was, and finally attending basketball camps in America during the summertime. He worked hard, just for a kid, and the results showed when he returned to America at just age 13, earning national recognition for his performance at Lower Merion High School, becoming the first freshman varsity athlete in decades, transforming their record with Kobe from 420 to 77 in 13 while he played all 5 positions, earning Naismith High School Player of the Year, Gatorade Men's Basketball Player of the Year, McDonald's All-American, just to name a few. As well, earning Lower Merion their first state championship in 53 years, while averaging 30.8 points per game, 12 rebounds per game, 6.5 assists per game, 4 steals per game, and 3.8 blocks per game. Yeah, very impressive. Surpassing Wilt Chamberlain for the Southern Pennsylvanian scoring record. He had it all, a star on and off the court. He could choose to go to any college of his choosing, play with any player he wished, in any state or city. But he chose to do this in a different way, by foregoing college and declaring eligibility for the NBA at just age 17, becoming the 6th player in history to become so. He wanted the fortune, the competitiveness of the NBA, and to one day become a great. However, this is when poor old Kobe received some minor hate to being hated. As he said himself, they don't hate people who are just good, they hate the people who are great. As he greatly isolated himself from his peers when young, as in Italy he felt different and harbored this mentality, seeking him to play for himself and himself only, creating a stigma of selfishness and self-driven motivation on top of his unknown presence to top NBA scouts. Already on top of the blackmail he and his agent performed to try and get him on the Lakers, saying he'll move back to Italy if any team, especially the New Jersey Nets, who wanted to draft him, took him, which Kobe later revealed that Italy threat was a bluff. But it worked anyway, as Kobe didn't have to go to school anymore, and now he was rich. He was in the NBA, picked at number 12 by the Hornets, and traded to the Lakers, not New Jersey. He got his wish, but one more obstacle stood in his way to become the next NBA great. A 7'1" obstacle out of Orlando, and now in LA. Don't get me wrong, Kobe had a remarkable playing career, but it wasn't as glamorous as many make it out to be. This is epitomized in the start of his career, where no, he didn't win championships immediately, like some make you want to think. Instead, he had an awkward fight for recognition and even a starting spot on a Lakers team where there was no Shaq and Kobe just yet. It was just Shaq and everyone under him. This further isolated Kobe from his team, and he'd yet to prove himself to his teammates, especially since his minutes was few, and when he did get playing time, he admittedly, yes, was selfish and a ball hog, 2 words which would plague this man's career for years to come, averaging just 7.9 points per game on 15 minutes per game. Not bad, but not the magical rookie season you'd want him to have, with him not even getting solid starting minutes until the 98 to 99 season. And with this greatly improved minutes, he became the youngest NBA All-Star starter in history, with a season stat line which was greatly impressive for his age, making him ready for the big moment when the Lakers signed arguably the greatest coach in NBA history, Phil Jackson, who was off 2 3-peats with the Bulls and seen the talent in Shaq and Kobe and wanted to win and felt like just one more 3-peat. Okay. Before we get back into any more of Kobe's history, let's just take a quick look at the most important thing for him. What made him so good? Simple. He all around, similar to Jordan, was incredible. His scoring, especially in the mid-range, was lethal. He had one of the most unstoppable shots with his fadeaway shot on top of many other non-human-like skills. He also was solid in the paint, and on top of this, was great at the defensive end. He simply was just a textbook NBA player who could lead any team. With balls of steel, as no one in the world loved and had more confidence in Kobe than Kobe himself, never being a way to step up to the hard and big-time shots, giving him the moniker of the Mamba mentality, making him one of the best clutch performers in NBA history. Okay, you got that? Well, good. So it's no surprise that when you take this skill set and pair him with Shaq, which, I mean, come on, just look at him. You don't even have to know basketball to know that this guy would be great at the sport. They would win a lot, giving us our most recent NBA 3-peat from the years 2000 to 2002, which in these years, the Lakers were just unstoppable, decimating their opponents, whether it was Reggie Miller, Allen Iverson, or Jason Kidd. The Lakers always put up one memorable fight for greatness. But that was the problem. It was the Lakers that won, not Kobe, just the Lakers. Kobe at the time, despite the label of Shaq and Kobe signifying their equal importance, was seen as a number 2, due to his honestly inferior importance to the Lakers than Shaq, with Shaq getting the finals MVPs, and recognition that Kobe wanted. He still was a number 2, despite putting up all-star numbers, and was still largely important to the Lakers, and realistically was still better than most number 1 options of the time or even beforehand. But this right here is what's important about Kobe's playing career. It can be brought down to 3 main parts: Shaq, Kobe, post-Shaq, Kobe, and Kobe. As despite the success of Kobe's early career, it wasn't all sunshine and roses. In fact, it was miserable in some parts. Kobe was seen as the unlikable little brother to Shaq, whose own teammates didn't like him and already had personal issues off the court. To anyone, Kobe was a brilliant player, but one with a liability issue. Was this in his character or just a product of his success? Guess we'll only find out if he gets his own shot at leading a team. With their beef and their failures of the 03 and 04 campaign, the Lakers chose the young and promising Kobe over Shaq, arguing that Shaq was aging and not worth paying $120 million a year for. Fair. And thus, Kobe had the keys for his own team, which didn't start out as comfortable as you'd hope. With O'Neal's departure from LA, Kobe was seen as the villain of the city for driving their star away and received criticism from all angles, even by the arguable best coach in NBA history and his former coach, Phil Jackson, declaring him uncoachable. And to add more to the ruin, the Lakers didn't even make the playoffs despite Bryant being second in league scoring. But with a supporting cast like this, could you blame him? But feuds with players such as Ray Allen and Karl Malone also did not help his image, on top of practically bullying teammates such as Kwame Brown, who, despite what you think of them, they are human and don't deserve to be treated like peasants, bringing on arguably Kobe's fatal flaw that this first Shaqless run brought out, his attitude. Kobe knew he was great, but also see no reason for why everyone else shouldn't be as great as him. which on the surface level is understandable as these are the world's highest paid athletes, and Kobe had to jump through so many hoops just to get to where he did. As well, this can improve his confidence, but simply, not everyone is built like Kobe. This big brother energy from him came instead more as bullying, which if you want teammates to like you and play well, yeah, of course you shouldn't do that. But when at rock bottom, there's only one way to go: up. With Phil Jackson's rehiring in 2005, this marked a new mindset for Kobe, giving up some ego for reconciliation and learning how to lead his team of actual people, instead of just bullying them. Well, kind of, come on, this is Kobe. With an increase in team performance in the next few years, it wasn't all great, but the ascension clearly begun when Kobe scored 81 points against the Toronto Raptors on January 2006, showing things are getting figured out, but despite this improved play and leadership by Kobe, this operation was still getting ridiculed, which can be accumulated in Kobe's MVP snub to Steve Nash in 2006, which the numbers speak for themselves on Kobe's side, especially since this was the mid-2000s Western Conference, which was stacked. Ignore the fact that he had a 7 seed, this is a very competitive conference, which was quite impressive that he made it to the seed he did make it, considering his weak supporting talent. If only Kobe could get some more help, then maybe he'd be seen properly. Which, yeah, this happened in 2008, in the trade deadline when the Lakers got Pau Gasol, who along with other supporting castmates such as Lamar Odom, Metta Stanford Artest, and Andrew Bynum, this helped Kobe leadership win the 2009 and 2010 finals, with an appearance in 2008 and even Kobe's own MVP in 2008, which, if we're being realistic here, he kinda did snub for Chris Paul. Kobe's great talent was finally clear and visible to the public, and especially with his public eye redemption with the saving of the 2008 Redeem team. And in my opinion, this era is how he should be seen. He has his flaws, of course, his attitude and bad shot selection, which can be really bad. I can't understate that. His shot selection, really bad. But in reality, that's really all that's bad about him. Everything else is great, but especially after his final championship, at this point in his career was capsizing and coming to an end. So the perfect aspect of 2008 to 2010, in my opinion, is the perfect idea of how Kobe should be seen. His flaws were still obvious, but he was winning because his talent was so great, even being a leader. Which leads us to today. Kobe Bryant year 2024. How good is he? Really good, man. But just not as good as many Laker fans make him out to be. Yes, I miss him too. He was a great scorer and defender, but simply, he might be the worst leader out of all the NBA greats, as he took his mentality and hardcore work ethic just too far on some people, and even on himself, as he just had abysmal shot selection and, towards the latter parts of his career, awful passing as well, throwing his teammates under the bus off and on the court, believing not to pass to his teammates because he just did not think they were worthy enough. Considering the end parts of his career where he had a bunch of young guys in his team is the worst thing you can do for their confidence. This in reality should be remembered a bit more in today's NBA, as players try and mimic him and are inspired by him, as he genuinely was an incredible NBA player. But was he a good teammate? No. Kobe is great and overrated, but even with this, when we go look at the tier list, when we look at the rankings all around, what is the strengths about Kobe? Pretty much nearly everything about the game. But with this all said, Kobe is an S-tier NBA player, and in my opinion, is the 6th greatest player of all time. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed, leave a like and a comment, giving suggestions to what other NBA players you'd like to see reviewed. Thank you again, and have a great day.